4 weeks without being charged, and there's a complete catch-22 when it comes to getting him proper lawyers. He has a military lawyer appointed to him. He can't get the lawyers that WikiLeaks has been assigned for him because he has to ask for it, but he can't. Nobody can give him the information that these lawyers have
well, I mean, why?
appointed for him.
We've got to go to break. This is incredible info, but you say the next information will shake the world. Are you implying it's much bigger than the Copter massacre?
Maybe.
Maybe? All right, stay there, stay there. I'm on the edge of my seat here. And the Pentagon says it's thousands of documents and videos, so Lord knows what treasure trove you guys have got, and anything to end these wars as soon as possible. I think you underestimate how much danger you're in, though.
The explanation he used was that he was understood that it was not safe for him to come to this country. He left it, and then later he explained now, when the Bradley Manning arrest was announced, he said, now you understand why I didn't come. I think it's worth mentioning a very new and ominous development in our country. I think he would not be safe, even physically, entirely, wherever he is. We have, after all, for the first time that I ever, perhaps in any democratic country, we have a president who has announced that he feels he has the right to use special operations operatives against anyone abroad that he thinks is associated with terrorism, that he suspects of it. And that includes American citizens. One American citizen who's even been named.
Julian Assange is who Daniel Ellsberg was talking about there on MSNBC. And for the last 2-3 weeks, the spokesman he designated is Birgitta Jónsdóttir, the prestigious and very effective member of the Icelandic Parliament. This is a short segment, long segment coming up. Plenty of time for her to break everything down. We were able to get her via video Skype. We'll see how long that holds. Okay, sorry you got cut off by the break. Briefly, the point you were trying to make about this shaking the world, the new information, can you give us any idea when it's coming out or why he hasn't released it yet? Because, I mean, they're arresting people, they're tracking people down. I mean, this is dangerous.
Well, first of all, I want to stress that there is no proof that links Manning to WikiLeaks. There is only this log from Adrian Lamo that looks like he is an FBI spook. So, you know, I can't verify if WikiLeaks has access to the documents that is claimed Manning leaked. I mean, we don't even know if Manning exists. So, but, you know, there will be releases very soon. There are some technical problems and so forth. So we just, or, you know, WikiLeaks just wants to make sure to release it in a proper fashion so it gets the attention it deserves.
But from what you say, it sounds like we're getting very, very close to this political bomb dropping.
I certainly hope so. I can't wait myself.
But you know what it is. You said it's going to shake the world.
Yeah, I know what it is.
Can you give us any hint?
No. Sorry.
We've seen reports that it deals with echelon spying, that it's also more massacre videos, drones killing people in Afghanistan. Wrong?
Some of that will be released soon, yes.
Say that again, I'm sorry.
Some of that will probably be released soon, but, you know, I have not been able to get hold of Julian for a while or other WikiLeaks people.
Oh, so you're saying, well, hold on, I mean, let me get this straight. You're saying there's lots of stuff coming out. So we got some drones killing people. We've got some NSA spying info. Are you saying it's not just one thing, it's a whole bunch of things?
Well, WikiLeaks kept submitted, you know, original documents, you know, every day, lots of them. So I'm not sure, you know, how the process is going to be, and I can't really answer for exactly what is going to be released. But there is certainly a lot of documents being submitted to WikiLeaks every day, every week, every month, every year. So, well,
Birgitta, I've got to say it.
It has to be, and it's very important because what WikiLeaks aims to do with every document is to verify if it is the real deal or not.
Well, Birgitta, I've got to say, I mean, you are like an Amazon goddess here. I mean, you are like Wonder Woman. I mean, with all the you're beating the banks. You got laws passed for an internet-free zone where there's true freedom of the press. You're in there in WikiLeaks, just devastating the New World Order. I tell you, I really admire you. I just want to say that right now.
Well, thank you. I'm just doing my best to help co-create a reality that I want to live in. And I think that it is something every individual should try to do and aspire to do.
Well, you are changing reality, and it shows what a go-getter can do. Could you have imagined 2 years ago when you first got active that you would have individually had this much success working with others?
Absolutely not. Not in my wildest dreams. I never aspired to be a politician, just to get that clear. And I think that it is time for ordinary activists to get into places of power to do have maximum influence both inside and outside establishments. And it is very important to work closely with grassroots groups because and not shape it into a traditional political parties, but to really create a bridge between ordinary people and the institutes that shape the laws that affect our lives.
Well, we're going to go to break. Long segment coming up. And, you know, I can sit here and throw questions out all day, but I do want to get into the law that Iceland has passed, what that means for the rest of the world, how we can duplicate that, more of the attacks on free speech and the press, and anything else you think is important on the other side, not just Alex Jones asking his questions. Birgitta Jónsdóttir is our guest, member of the Icelandic Parliament, one of the premier leaders for freedom of the press, and for stopping the banking cartel and for sovereignty of nations. And she's instrumental in also keeping her country out of the euro. I mean, she is having a great effect. Okay, enough of me, Birgitta, continuing here on other issues or recapping things that you think are important for people to know about worldwide that just tuned in.
I have to say I had a very interesting week last week because I was invited to go to the European Parliament to speak about freedom of expression in Europe. It was an organization inside the EU Parliament called ALDE, which is sort of a collaboration between liberals and Democrats. And it's amazing to hear how bad the situation is in Europe, because Europe always claims to be, just like the United States, the cradle of democracy. And at the same time, people are forgetting what the foundations of democracy is, and that is basically freedom of information, freedom of speech, and freedom of expression. If we don't have that, we have no freedom. And one thing that I have also figured out from just working as a legislator is that parliaments increasingly, from the parliaments that I have been looking at and the Icelandic one, have given away their power to create laws into the hands of the ministries. And who creates the laws in the ministries is the lawyers. So basically our free world has been taken over by lawyers, and I find that to be a little bit disturbing. And I find it to be extremely important that parliaments reclaim their powers as well, because parliaments are supposed to be this bridge between, or a reflection of the people that they are representing. And it is important that we do not have only professional politicians running the show. It is very important that ordinary people have a chance to reflect in a real way the real people that they are supposed to be representing. Anyway, I met also about 10 days ago Bill Still. He was here in Iceland. I don't know if you know who he is, but he created the Money Masters some years ago, and had the honor of being in a segment that comes along with his newest film. He was talking a lot about, like very many other people that have come to Iceland or gotten in touch with me, about an alternative monetary system. And I think that is very, very important. It has to be the next step that we'll do, is to find ways to have a completely different monetary system than we live with today. I find the fractional reserve banking system basically to be criminal. The way the entire financial world is run is criminal. And so, but we have to find solutions that are more in tune with reality, so we don't have these endless bubbles blowing over our worlds and sucking out the last riches that we have.
And to briefly boil that down, yes, I know about the Money Masters director. We actually carry that 3-hour film at Infowars.com that was put out over a decade ago as the preeminent work exposing the fractional reserve banking system that is mathematically designed to create more debt than you can physically pay back. And within a generation, the bankers get incredible power while the bubble's expanding. And then when it implodes, they fully enslave you. That's what's happened to Africa, Latin America, and poor areas of Asia. It's on record that the IMF and World Bank have done this, and now they're doing it to Greece. What is it like for you to see Greece? Iceland says no. It turns out the banks admit Iceland didn't really owe all this money. Most of the debt was their debt. They were making you pay it. And that 600-plus islands, their roads, their infrastructure is being individually sold back to the banking and brokerage firm owners who are buying the islands from the Greek government with money they stole from the Greek people. I mean, this is incredible.